Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at Elon Musk's Wikipedia views of Elon Musk, it says in May 2022, Musk said he could no longer support, quote, no longer support the Democrats and would be voting Republican instead due to Biden's support for unions and his inability to get a lot done. Then you have this really hilarious story of Alyssa Milano blasted by conservatives Elon Musk after trading in Tesla for Volkswagen, but it was founded by the very people that she calls anyone who disagrees with the Democratic Party. So the 1930s and 1940s Germans, you can't say the name, but you don't. You can't even explain how they twist historical record and they engage in such absurd revisionist history. I have an op-ed in the Jerusalem Post you can see on hagoodman.com on how AOC, for example, twisted historical record. What they do is they call people names of the most inhumane, monstrous, evil people who've ever walked the planet. And they do that just for political gain. Like, Trump has absolutely nothing to do with those people. Like, literally nothing. Here you have Donald Trump, who signed an executive order combating anti-Semitism on college campuses, is extremely popular in the country that I had my bar mitzvah in, especially for religious people of my faith. They love Trump. Okay? And like very religious. It's people who aren't who are like generally atheists who view the Democratic Party as their religion, who see anyone who votes conservative or Republican or for Donald Trump as this word. But then it's like I'm going on a rant here, or I'm, kind of moving away from the topic. The issue here, ladies and gentlemen, is Elon Musk stated recently, it's all over, that he backed DeSantis. DeSantis is not going to be the nominee. Okay? You don't have to be Nostradamus to realize that. Everybody wants DeSantis. I like DeSantis a lot. He's fantastic. He hasn't dealt with 1/100th of what Donald Trump deals with in one day. Trump will be the nominee, obviously, and Elon Musk will reluctantly or enthusiastically vote for Trump. Whether it's reluctant or whether he just doesn't really want to, but he doesn't want to vote for, pick a Democrat, any Democrat other than Mashed Potato Brains. So if Mashed Potato Brains Joe doesn't run after being impeached, hopefully numerous times, Democrats say, like, for what, man? It's like, well, for actual felonies and crimes. Not like, oh, he pressured somebody. Ooh, that's so bad. This is an actual crime. You could actually indict Biden, both Bidens, Hunter and Joe. But anyway, and others probably. But Elon Musk will eventually support Donald Trump. Elon Musk purchased Twitter because he knew that Democrats, like Alyssa Milano and people in Hollywood, would eventually try to tarnish or destroy Tesla by saying, you know what, a so-and-so owns Tesla, and all these people who like supremacy, now, you know what, Tesla and Elon Musk are the same, and they're the same as Republicans, they're the same as the supremacists, and they're the same as this and that, and so we're not going to go ahead and purchase Tesla anymore. And oh, by the way, any government contracts that he has with SpaceX. So Twitter was used to silence, suppress, malign, demean, disparage, defame anyone that opposed liberal ideology, which oftentimes makes huge leaps of logic. Alyssa Milano bought a Volkswagen because she wanted to be moral, not understanding that Volkswagen was initially started by the 1930s and 1940s Germans that she is said to oppose. Now, you're not doing anyone or the planet any favors by not buying a Tesla. Okay, because Elon Musk has done nothing but buy Twitter and allow free speech, which for some reason is viewed as a horrible thing. Well, actually, we know why it's viewed as a horrible thing. Democrats and the morally superior on the left They can't really actually debate. They don't have an actual viewpoint that makes any sense. You could see what TYT tried to do with Tim Pool. I mean, the whole planet is laughing at that. They make absurd leaps of logic. They engage in what I call non sequitur hyperbole. No, non sequitur rhetorical hyperbolic statements. They make absurd leaps of logic. I'm not buying a Tesla. I'm a better person. Why are you a good person by not buying a Tesla? Why are you a good person by opposing Elon Musk? Why are you a good person by disliking Trump? Did you not know that Trump allocated more funding to historically black colleges and universities than any president ever? Did you know also that he was the first president to step foot in North Korea? Did you know that he with the Abraham Accords helped the country that was founded by survivors of the 1930s and 1940s Germans, or people who survived? And I can't even explain. You can read my Jerusalem Post op-eds. One on President Trump's words also that don't incite anyone or compel. Every time an atrocity takes place, they say, "Don't you see? It's the conservative rhetoric." They have no evidence of this. It's the stupidest, absurd, most manic and apoplectic leap of logic. Don't you understand? If you just ban the firearm, then that would never happen. It's like, no, they would use a different one. And also, guess what? Criminals don't care about laws. And gee, you know what? There's, you can ban a lot of things, even alcohol. And you know what? People still, we've learned from prohibition and we learned just from daily life. Banning things doesn't work. And criminals don't care about crimes. I mean, criminals don't care about committing crimes, and you're not going to influence anyone through words. And if you do, you're not going to influence madmen through words because they're mad and they've lost their mind to begin with. But if you do influence somebody through words, you can actually take the person to court. It is already against the law to state anything publicly that would directly influence somebody into committing a crime. But see, Democrats don't like... The way they think is, we're going to accept these absurd leaps of logic as fact, and therefore, you know what? Tesla, SpaceX, he's horrible for a lot of reasons, and you know why he's horrible? Because he was banned off of Twitter. It was a matter of time before Elon Musk would have been suspended or eventually banned off Twitter. It wouldn't be difficult to do. There could be an intelligence report that said, "Oh my God, he's a big menace to national security," and 50 former intel chiefs would have written to Twitter, and just like they suspended the New York Post, they could have suspended Elon Musk, and that was viewed as a social credit score in the United States of America. Twitter was. And so, if you're watching this, what the heck does this have to do with Elon Musk voting for Trump? Well, DeSantis, if he runs, it ain't going to be the nominee. If he runs, it'll be pretty amusing. Okay, it'll help my channels, but he ain't going to win. Okay, never bet against Trump. You can say, well, 2 years ago, fine, but generally he's going to come out on top. They can't get him. They tried to indict him a million times. They'll do the same thing to DeSantis. They will try to do the same thing to DeSantis. They would try to do the same thing to DeSantis if DeSantis ever became nominee. But that ain't going to happen. Donald Trump has too much support within the Republican Party and too much support among the average American. Within the country, there is a great deal of support for Trump that that doesn't show up within polls or, you have to understand, Trump Republicans barely lost the Senate. If you say, oh, they did horrible in Arizona, they barely lost in these places. There's a runoff now in Georgia. The never-Trumpers are barely hanging on to power. And that's with the help of Democrats and media. Now imagine, because you have the House as Trump Republican right now. Imagine eventually Mitch McConnell leaves, you get the Senate too. Trump will completely remake the entire Republican Party, especially 2 years from now when he becomes nominee and goes up against Democrat, pick whichever Democrat. Because Democrats are embarrassed of Joe Biden. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Elon Musk will eventually vote for Donald Trump. He's saying now he'd back DeSantis. But DeSantis won't be the option. It'll be Trump. And he's not voting Democrats. So just use basic logic. Hit subscribe to this channel right now, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to support my work long term, my Patreon is below. Thank you.